FPE Network.
Florida Park Explorers.
We explore the parks 5 to 6 days a week with great live streams and vlogs. We cover everything from rides and food to magic and fun and fireworks. So come join us on our adventures as we take you through
the Disney parks and more.
And check out our all-new channel, the FPE Network. And thanks for watching. Today's show is brought to you by Mouska Planner. You're paying for a travel agent? You may as well use the best. Contact Mouska Planner today. What do you do with your ears when it's raining in the park? The answer is Ponchier, the first internationally patented poncho that is designed to protect and display your headgear in the rain without ever having to remove them. Ponchier features a patented hood with extended visor to add additional coverage to protect your face. Find them online on your favorite social media or at their website, ponchier.co today.
That cracks me up every single.
Yeah, does it? Yeah.
Yeah, right. It's good.
Welcome in, everybody, to another episode of the Galactic Council. I am the Supreme Emperor, leader of the world and Galactic Empire, Dave. We have our Castle Life Sith, Lord Crew, and Darth Larry are with us tonight. Welcome in, guys.
Yeah, how's it going?
Yeah. Nothing. We're going to have a great night tonight. We are 2 council members short. There was apparently an unknown war that we didn't know about, so they are in the infirmary being repaired. So they'll be back with us again soon. But
yeah, they're in the back of the tank.
Yeah, they're in the back of the tank getting better. So for DC, much love to you, brother, and Mark. We will see you guys soon. Hope you guys are enjoying. I think they're in Universal. So yeah. The universe of Universal. Just a couple of quick things. Now that we're done with Boba Fett, we're going to kind of take you guys through what is actually the way the council will run from now on. So let me say hi to everybody. Josh Sings. Hello, Lynn Butler. Steve, Patty Puddles, James. How is everybody doing? Welcome in to Jill and Patrick. And let's see who else is here. Hawk the Fam is here. Welcome in, everybody. It's good to see everybody. Did I see Gene? I see Fitz is here. And his beard came in first, just so everybody knows. So other than that, there were some things that went on today in FPE News. We were earlier today over on the main channel. We were over with Marc Daniel. We were doing Over the Edge with Give Kids the World. Marc actually went over the side of a building at 428 feet, rappelled down to raise money. He raised almost $1,300. The reason I still bring that up is just because the event is over does not mean we stop fundraising. If mods want to drop in the link from earlier today, please go over and support Give Kids the World. It means the absolute world to Florida Park Explorers. So make sure you're doing that. The other thing is we dropped this earlier today, how to win a mega prize package. That is a Figment popcorn bucket, as well as a Peter Pan glow-in-the-dark lounge fly, $25 gift card, Main Street Treats prize package, and a Big Fat Panda first edition pin. So make sure you go over to either Instagram of Florida Park Explorers or check it out on our channel. So lots of good things going on. Just wanted to kind of get that out of the way. We're going to be doing a lot of those things from now on where we give you updates as to what's going on in the FPE universe as well as the rest of everything else. So speaking of news, did you guys hear what happened today with John Williams?
I did.
Yeah, I just saw it, but yeah.
Let's bring it in for everybody. This is super exciting. What we found out today is that John Williams will be returning to Star Wars, which let's just be perfectly honest. That's awesome. He's going to be doing the score for Obi-Wan. And let me kind of get to that page real quick and scroll through it. Let's see. So basically what it said was that it is the first time that he has done a television series since 1985, and that he actually went to Los Angeles with an orchestra under security this week and actually recorded what will essentially be more than likely the opening to Obi-Wan. The one thing the article does go on to sit there and tell us is that they have no idea who's going to score all the other 6 episodes. So, but they did kind of reveal that there are 6 episodes, which I thought was kind of interesting. So, what are your guys' thoughts about him coming back and rejoining Star Wars universe?
I think it's great. I mean, you can't have Star Wars score without John Williams. I mean, you hear his music, and you don't even really need anything else. You just feel it, and you just get goosebumps. It's just he's amazing.
I couldn't agree more. Welcome in Dad Builds and Jen from FPE. Oh, I know where you are. And let's see who else came in. That's about it. So yeah, I agree with you. Once you hear that initial music, I mean, it's the thing that brings it back for all of us.
Definitely.
Crew, what are your thoughts? You like the fact he's coming back to do it?
So I have the actual John Williams orchestra. It was this recent album he did. I don't remember. It was live. And I actually listened to it in my truck going to work. So
why am I not surprised?
It's got Jurassic Park. It's got Star Wars.
Nice.
There's plenty of other movies he's done. I just can't name off the top of my head, but I listened to it in my truck, and it's John Williams.
Yeah. So do you think you're like Jim Carrey when he's, when he plays Dr. Eggman in Sonic, when he's running like this and the T-Rex is coming trying to eat him? Is that you driving your truck?
No, that's me. That's me in the car wash listening to, John Williams going, "Wow, this is awesome." The blue lights.
Fair point.
Yeah, right.
Fair point. So I think we're all excited about it. I have to say this because it's totally unrelated, and you guys know I like to throw curveballs. On Hulu on February 18th, so that would be tomorrow. The Kingsman is releasing on Hulu, and we had Dominic Lewis right here on this network. I happen to think Dominic is probably in line at some point to probably take over in that genre. He is such an excellent composer that I believe at some point he probably will get the nod, whether it's he or Matthew. One of them is probably going to get the nod, but Dominic composing is fantastic. If you haven't seen The Kingsman, comes out tomorrow on Hulu. Definitely go over, support Dominic and Matthew. They were spectacular. Music is great. The movie is fantastic. Nothing to do with Star Wars, but that's just my take. So, but it's nice to see other composers up and coming. The scoring in some of these music, like to Larry's point, as soon as you hear it, you go, oh, it's Star Wars.
Yeah.
We look for
John Williams. I mean, how old is he?
He's a legend. He's a legend.
90, right?
What's that, Crew?
John's 90.
Turned 90.
Yeah. And he's still doing it?
Still doing it. Still going strong. Still
What a phenomenal career.
Just think about this. I mean, he went in this week and he's like, okay, you know what? I got this. Let's bring out some Obi-Wan. Let's do what we're going to do. Let's have some fun. They put him under lock and key with an orchestra and said, have at it. You're John Williams. You know what to do.
Yeah.
So, but that kind of catches us up as to what's going on in Star Wars news, what's going on around the FP universe. What we're actually here for today is the best Star Wars movie ever. That's what we're here for. So we as a council are going to debate this and have some fun with it. So, let's kind of jump right on into it and start off with let's start because Crew's been amped up all day.
I want to
okay, there we go.
Because we
Crew's amped up. Let's get your first movie. Tell me what it is. I'll be right back.
All right, we starting this, Larry?
All right, let's go. What do you got?
So my first movie is going to be A New Hope, right? Here's a couple reasons why, right? There's really no debate issue or, with we meet Luke. We meet nice. We meet Leia. We meet Han. We meet Chewie. And we see a story developing, right? This is the first story in the movie series for episode 5, 6, and 7, or 4, 5, and 6 that George Lucas has done. And he was afraid to do it.
Sure.
Right? Like he turned down 2 big producing companies, MGM and it was either Paramount or like I think Universal was the MGM. So he turned down 2 and Fox 20th Century said, I guess we'll take it. And we just get not the right movie.
No, where did it go?
A New Hope.
I had them in order. Hold on a second. Don't talk. I got to find it.
Right.
No, go ahead. I'm just kidding.
Okay. So we get to see, Ben Solo, right? Just with everything that movie has to offer from start to finish. It's a child that wants to leave Tatooine, basically, or a teenager at this point, with his uncle Owen, who, if you guys didn't know, is the stepbrother of who? Go ahead, Larry.
The stepbrother of who?
So Uncle Owen.
Oh, okay. Aunt Beru.
Well, no, that's his wife, but he's a stepbrother of Anakin.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah.
So
okay, sorry.
You get to see this, right? And I'm going to bring this into my next movie, but you get to see this, that these caretakers basically where Luke got separated from Leia when Anakin became Darth Vader, just him turning into this kind of like a punk rock teenager, right? I want to go hang out with my friends at Tashi Station. Like, I want to go. Right. I want to fly. Yeah. And I will point that out right there. That's the first time you get to see that helmet, right? It's the first time you get to see Luke with the rebels destroying that thing right there, the Death Star, right? I mean, come on. It's A New Hope. It's the first installment. It's got to be it.
Well, it is the first installment, but it's definitely not.
Get him, Larry.
Okay, yes, I'll give you. It's the first installment. Okay, and at least you went original trilogy. Okay, I'll give you that too. But it's definitely not the best. Definitely not the best. Out of the 3 original trilogy, definitely not the best. The best, Empire Strikes Back, hands down. It is everybody's go-to because it is the best. It's not just the go-to; it is the best. There it is.
Why?
It's perfect. I mean, it's one of those movies that if you like a darker tone to your movies, okay, that's it. Okay, so you got New Hope. Everything's new. You got the new characters. You're meeting everybody. Everybody's happy. Oh, who's this? Who's that? But in Empire, it is dark. Okay, so you get the bad guys get the upper hand. Okay, so yes, they destroyed the Death Star in A New Hope, right? Lucky shot. Okay, it's like one of those haymakers that just lands. But still, they're still on the run. After the Death Star is blown up, they're still on the run. The Empire is still at the top. They might have lost that one, but they're still running. They're hiding out. They're on Hoth, right? One of the first scenes you see is Hoth within the snow, the AT-AT walkers. I mean, come on. That's hands down by far better than it is better than any scene in A New Hope. just the opening scene of Empire Strikes Back.
Well, let me ask you this though.
Hang on 1 second. Let me say hi to Adventure and Gonzo and Carla and Kiko. Welcome in, everybody. Welcome into a great debate. These two are already going at it, back and forth. So far, what's on the table at the moment is New Hope versus Empire. We haven't even made it past the first two movies. They're already debating just the original two movies. So Go ahead, Crew. Take it to them.
I had a couple questions though. So you said the Empire is always on top, right? When every Star Wars movie, right? When is the Empire not on top?
That's true. But you're saying what's going on here is that so yes, in the New Hope they destroy the Death Star. But I mean,
I'm also saying so you get introductions to characters, right? So people going into in 1977, right? So that comic book, April 12th, 1977, the very first Star Wars Marvel comic book comes out. 6 series of that comic book was for the movie. May, I think 12th, 1977, the movie premiered at the Chinese Theater in LA.
Yeah.
The movie took the world by storm.
Right.
I mean, we had parades. We had everything going on from just kids going, I want a toy. And then not even getting into the Hasbro thing or anything
exactly.
like that.
That's like a couple years later.
This is literally Star Wars, the best space odyssey / space story that could ever happen. And the first movie did it. Without A New Hope, you don't have Empire Strikes Back.
Okay, it was the first space odyssey, but not the best. So you get introduced to the characters, but Empire Strikes Back takes them to a whole nother level.
So Luke is just, that not like keen to go, I think I'm going to freeze, but, I'm going to go get taken by, the Sasquatch of the Winter Storm off.
The Wampa.
Wampa, whatever his name is.
So in A New Hope, Luke is so whiny and irritating that
he's with his aunt and uncle.
No, even after that, even after he leaves, he's just this young punk kid. And he's whiny and he's just he's
experiencing the world. And I think that's a big part of it. He's like, because what does Ben Solo tell him? He goes, "You're about to see like a bigger world."
Wait, Ben Solo?
No, not Ben. I'm sorry, Obi-Wan. I'm sorry. Oh my gosh.
Like what?
Confusing words. See what you've done to me, Larry.
He's not the
Obi-Wan Kenobi. Right? Obi-Wan Kenobi is now telling Luke like, this was your father's lightsaber. There's a whole world out there.
Yeah.
And he has no other guidance at this point because what happens? Obi-Wan goes and fights Darth Vader and says, if you strike me down, I've already mastered the whatever Darth Vader.
I mean, like I said, Empire, that's just the smallest part of it. I mean, you have scene after scene of Empire Strikes Back. It just totally raises the bar of Star Wars. Every scene. And
with the Cloud City that turns them all in,
But again, another great character, speaking of Cloud City, another great character is introduced, Lando Calrissian. He's
what about the 4 characters I mentioned though?
But yes, sure. They're good. They're good. Don't get me wrong. They're the main characters in Star Wars. You got Han, Leia, Luke, Chewie. Okay, Darth Vader.
I want to see us to chat real quick though. I'm only disagreeing with Larry because I love Empire Strikes Back. I'm a Star Wars fan. I just don't think it's the best.
All right, so I got to jump in for a second. So here's where we're at to recap for a second. Crew, you make some really good points. Okay, why? It's the first movie. They're developing the characters. It's going to be a little bit slower. There's going to be a little bit of that going on. However, I have been probably riding this for the last 3 movies were. So I sat there and I said the exact same thing, which is we needed those initial 4 characters. Empire Strikes Back, I think, is arguably one of the best movies of all time, let alone Star Wars in general. Both movies, and I'm going to argue a different fact for both of you. You have to have them both together. I've never watched A New Hope and not immediately watched Empire Strikes Back. I've never done that. I've never started with Empire. I've always started with A New Hope, and then I watched the other. Why? Because they're almost symbiotic. They play together. But I'm going to pose something else to you guys. You guys went for the original trilogy. So I'm going to go after something a little different and say, How about Revenge of the Sith? You get to see Padme pregnant. You get to see how malicious Anakin's mind has turned. The fact that he has become all whacked out. He even force chokes her. It takes Obi-Wan to basically have that be done with. He goes in and slays a bunch of kids. I mean, come on. He goes in there and lightsabers just everybody. He goes in against the Federation. He goes out, and then one of the most epic lightsaber battles on lava, hopping around, lightsaber, master versus student. And then what happens? I've got the high ground. Don't do it. And what's he do? Then you get to see something never really discussed in any Star Wars movie. And no Star Wars movie, in my opinion, is as brutal as Revenge of the Sith. When he cuts off his both legs and his arm, he leaves him there and he's standing there. And what's he do? He monologues. He's like, you were supposed to take us out of darkness. And then what happens? He catches on fire. He doesn't walk down and kill him, which would have been the humane thing to do. He leaves him there on fire and turns around after watching it, turns around and walks away. Yeah. I'm sorry. Yeah. That's brutality.
It is. Yeah, it is. It is straight brutality. And that is a great scene, great lightsaber battle. But the reason why I went with original trilogy is because when I saw that, obviously I was a kid and I was young.
Sure.
And so when I think of the best Star Wars movie that gives me the most feelings is when I was a kid. So even though those newer movies are really great, they'll never be for me one of the best ones because I don't get that same feeling as an adult as I did when I was young watching like the original trilogy. So
hey, look, and I can absolutely agree with that. As a matter of fact, when I go back to like the original trilogy, I still love Return of the Jedi. It's fantastic. It gave closure until they opened it back up. But at the end of the day, it was where you finally get to see Luke go from that whiny kid in the first one.
It's not whiny.
He's still whiny. Yeah, he's whiny.
To being a Jedi Master. He walks down the stairs and what's he do? It's like, no, I'm done with you. You can see him actually embodying being a Jedi. So it's pretty cool. So you guys are making some really, really good points. So I would
go back to your first question there with the Revenge of the Sith. So that movie actually is really good with the cinematics. We find out how Darth Vader gets put together, right?
I was about to say that.
How Leia and Luke get split up because they didn't know there was twins at that point. And it kind of sets a story up. Yes. For my next movie, I'm going to bring in some good points with the acting, the CGI. However, it was the 90s. It's, it's up and coming from the 70s, 80s. Into the, I'm just saying, Larry, I've got something for you. Let's do this.
All right.
Revenge of the Sith was great. I mean, it really was.
It was.
Look, I enjoyed, and you bring up a really good aspect because you do actually. We finally, for the first time, we watched what is chronologically the first and second one, where Baby Annie becomes basically, we'll call him teenager Annie, and then in the third one, where he's finally developing, he's in his own. We get to see the transformation from man to machine. They physically show it to us. They show, and that's the brutality of the scene. Is you're seeing just what he did. In order to become this, because it's let's say this: Hayden Christensen, not the best actor in the world. When you sit there and you watch his performance, but when he makes that transition from "Hey, everything is great, let's go dance on the back of a gigantic buffalo," to "Hey, you know what?"
Funny scene though, come on, like it's like.
But I'm just saying, he goes from being this. He's kind of whiny like Luke is to a degree. And all of a sudden, he takes this power and you see the power of the dark side. Kind of like what you see with Palpatine when he lets it loose. Like when they let this thing loose and the anger comes out, how powerful the Force is. And then you literally get to see that transformation to the point where he doesn't care about literally killing Padme. And then what happens? He wakes up in regret. after going through a torturous surgery. I mean, it's an amazing
Takes them to a whole nother level.
transformation.
Right.
So that would be my point on Sith. It's just the cinematography is fantastic. I also, by the way, I like John Williams' score when they're in the lava pit, when they're literally having that battle. That dun 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 dun. I mean, you hear that, and it's just you immediately are taken back there. You see them hitting the lightsabers. You see them doing their thing. To me, it's just an epic battle scene. New Hope, no offense,
Whatever.
It's flat. Just
flat comparison.
Yeah.
But I got to be honest with you.
I'm not mad at you guys.
The Empire, it definitely, in my opinion, dwarfs New Hope. You got to have New Hope in order for the other ones to exist. But even Empire, I would say some of the best scenes have to do with outside characters, things that don't actually have to do with the main protagonist. So I would say that that's where Empire to me falls a little bit short because it needs those outside entities in order to carry the movie. So take that.
I mean, it's got the biggest
movie. I would just say it's not the best.
I mean, it's got the biggest reveal in any Star Wars movie. I am your father.
I agree with that.
It's the biggest bombshell in the Star Wars universe. Come on.
Look, I'll give you that one. I am your father. It's a huge thing. But then you get the best.
You need to call Maury Povich for a paternity test. Like, come on.
You get the best acting in the world. No.
I know, and the whiny Skywalker.
Okay, it's gone too far now.
Terrible, so bad.
So Yippee puts in here. It says Revenge of the Sith isn't finished in my eyes until Kenobi. I happen to agree with you.
Yeah, that's definitely a very good point. Yeah, absolutely.
And that's kind of the thing is the cool part about all these movies, because first of all, for the chat, we all happen to agree. We all love the Star Wars movies. We're just picking on them because at the end of the day, there are just certain things that come out that we really like. I think what they're doing now could be the fillers that we're all talking about. Like that was probably one of the best let's try that again. David, try to speak, take two. Chat comments in the sense that it's not finished until this happens. We need to know what happened to Obi-Wan. He takes the child. I'll watch over him. We see that final scene where he drops him off. He's standing there like this, and he's gone. Yeah. Where'd he go? So that'll be kind of neat. We'll get into that in the up and coming weeks because we have plenty of time till Obi-Wan comes out, and I'm sure there'll be plenty of things leaked. So we'll have some fun with that. So any other points that you want to take on New Hope before we? No,
because I've got two more movies.
I know you do, but do you have anything else? New Hope.
No, I think New Hope is a great movie. I think Empire Strikes a great movie. I think in general, as Star Wars, as fans, not as historians or anything like that, but just every movie in the Star Wars canon, TV show, comic book, there's something in it for everybody, right? So someone can enjoy episode 8 and then not enjoy the solo story, right? Mm-hmm. They bring something in for everybody. So yeah, I know you don't like it. It's just every movie is different. It's on how you watch it and how you interpret that movie, because there's a lot of things in those movies that coincide with the comic books. Whereas the common person's watching that movie goes, I just enjoyed a great movie.
Yeah.
And that's what I like about the Star Wars series in general.
I happen to agree with you.
Yeah.
So Larry, anything else that you want to add on Empire before we go on to our, into a little bit of a round robin segment on some movies?
Well, I would just like to say,
you take notes?
I was going to say, it looked like you pulled out a novel.
No. I didn't take notes. I just wrote down a few things just to kind of, have some comebacks here. No, but I just feel that Empire Strikes Back.
Bell for being prepared. Ding.
Yeah.
Negative points for Larry.
What are you talking about? No, Empire Strikes Back. Like I said, every scene. There's so many memorable scenes. I mean, there's Hoth. There's the asteroid field. Flying the Millennium Falcon flying through the asteroid field. I mean, You got the introduction to the bounty hunters, not just Boba Fett, but Dengar and Forlom and Bosk and all. Yes, I mean, come on. That episode opened us up to things that we just watched. We just got done watching Boba Fett.
I know.
We get introduction to Boba Fett in Empire Strikes Back. It's just, I mean, it blows the lid off everything else.
Just don't tell me the odds. That's all I ask.
Exactly. Another great line from the movie. Never tell me the odds. Yeah. A scruffy looking Nerf herder.
There you go. The T-shirt that exists all
Talk
over.
about a whiny baby on Solo. Whiny baby in that.
So let's kind of run through it because, at the end of the day, we all love all of the movies. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. So if we were going to run through it, what would you say your second favorite movie is? I know Crew is so prepared for this. Look at it. Look at that smile. But I'm not going to him first. Let's go to Larry. Larry, what's your second favorite movie, Star Wars? Try going a little. Let's get out of the first trilogy. What do you got? Okay.
I'm going to shake it up here. I'm going to say The Phantom Menace.
Ooh, going first movie.
Which is a little rough for me because there's definitely some, Jar Jar Binks going on in this first one. That's pretty bad. But
means to think that you're out your mind.
Oh my gosh. But you get Qui-Gon Jinn, you get Obi-Wan, and of course, who else do you get in this movie?
Baby Annie.
Me, Skywalker.
That too, but Darth Maul.
Maul. Yeah. Don't say Maul.
I mean, come on. It's the same effect that Darth Maul had in that movie as Boba Fett did in Empire. He's barely in the movie. He's not in the movie very much, screen time, but still, he's one of those characters. It's oh my gosh, when that double lightsaber comes out, everybody's just are you kidding me?
So let me ask you a question. Are we going to see more Darth Maul somewhere in the epic spin-off thing? Do you think that they're going to? Because I think you're right. They touch on a character. They don't give us anything with it. He comes out of nowhere. He's on screen for minutes. It's another Boba Fett in that sense where not a lot of screen time, but he's a character that people dress up in Batuu every day. They go out and they buy his lightsaber. Do you think he's going to make an appearance again?
Well, to be honest, I'm not really sure about that because there's definitely some time in there where after he gets, cut in half and stuff. I mean, he's still alive. I mean, he's definitely in there's the Clone Wars and there's some other stuff that he's in. But to be honest, I'm not real knowledgeable about where he's at, kind of in the timeline here. So if he were to make a comeback in some of these series, I don't know if Crew kind of knows.
He's alive.
More.
So he's alive.
He's definitely alive.
Yeah. So what's going to happen is you're going to see with the Phantom Menace and even in Revenge of the Sith, that's when you the Rogue One or whatever that movie is that no one really liked. Crimson, not Rogue One, Han Solo's solo story. Crimson Dawn, he's part of that. So there's a lot of hiding with Obi-Wan Kenobi. So, I mean, foreshadowing where Obi-Wan went and what Darth Maul's doing with the comics. Yes, it tells you. I have not read them. Sorry, chat. But there's so much canon involved in this. And so much theory that when we see Obi-Wan's show come out, the Phantom Menace is probably going to peek his head out at one point soon. On
I would say this to you. I hated the movie Solo so much I didn't even pull the movie poster.
Well, Darth Maul was in it. That was my point to Larry.
No, for tonight, I couldn't do it. Had you have stuck with Rogue One, I had that for you, but Solo, not going to do it.
I was just agreeing with Larry.
I'm just telling you, I'm not bringing. I didn't even load it into production tonight.
Because Larry just stole my idea. That was my second choice, but
so you guys were going to agree on Phantom Menace.
I was.
All right.
Larry hit all my points too.
Hey,
that's okay because I can switch it up.
Well, there you go. There's a couple of things with Phantom Menace. Obviously we went right for the Darth Maul aspect. We went for Qui-Gon. I think it's there's another thing that we'll get back with Qui-Gon in a minute, but at some point he has to make an appearance, because what happens with Yoda and Obi-Wan when he says, that someone has found their way back through the Force? We never really get to see him, develop that. So I think that's going to happen in the Obi-Wan series. I think that's going to be awesome. That's going to be a lot of fun. I think that's one of those under wraps type things. But one of the things that happens in Phantom Menace that, we're not even talking about is, baby Annie. That kid, first of all, was adorable. Like, I don't care what anybody says. He's cute. Like the entire movie is based upon, and it gives us that backstory of how it develops. And I think that it also goes into what we were talking about with Boba Fett even last week, where we were talking about with Grogu. I think maybe the Jedi are a little too staunch because he's got to turn his back on his mom, leave her on the planet. That comes back in in other movies where he comes back and he absolutely, again, the brutality when he slaughters the Sand People, or the Tusken Raiders, he's brutal. And, when you have that separation, I think in the movie, it's not stated well. They talk about the metachlorine count and how high it is and that they haven't seen it and they're foreshadowing. So a lot of what we're seeing in that movie it's kind of New Hope-ish in some regards. So it's a great choice. Great choice indeed.
I wanted to add a couple things to the Phantom Menace. Is we see Anakin building what? When he brings in Qui-Gon and Padme from the Sandstone with R2, he's building C-3PO.
Oh, right.
That's the droid that we see throughout I'm pretty sure every single episode of Star Wars. And he's like, this is the droid I built. What do you think about it? And he, it's the first time we meet C-3PO in the episode 1 version, not the New Hope version, right? When they grab the droids, Uncle Owen and Luke go to get the droids. It's kind of cool to see that Anakin built that, and then you're building upon a story where kids from the 70s and the 80s that watch this movie as a 8 to probably like 13 years old. Now you're watching kids from 8 to 13-year-old in the 90s see these movies and go, oh, it's a new generation, if you will.
So Chet's got an interesting question. The effects wise, which is your favorite or is your favorite effects scenes? So out of all of the movies, what would you say are your favorite visual effects, and or what's your favorite scene that has those visual effects in it? What would you say your number one is? Let's put through a spot. Movie? Go ahead.
Is that a question for any movie in the Star Wars?
All Star Wars movies.
My favorite effects scene is probably going to be the pod race.
Good answer.
Because I grew up with it, and I was younger when I watched that movie. And I've never seen that in Star Wars. And I had watched episode 4, 5, and 6 prior to that. And when we saw the pod racing, and then you have video games about it and everything else, the pod racing was cool.
Is there a particular scene in the pod racing that stands out one more than another?
Yeah, when Anakin loses one of his hoses for one of his engines, and he uses the Force to grab it and put it right back to his pod or engine. I don't know what you would call it, but right there, and just continues and flies forward. That's my favorite. One of my favorite scenes in Star Wars.
Okay. Now visual and what, basically what the chat question was about special effects. Pretty decent one. Larry, do you have a better one?
This is a tough one. There's so many. I would have to go with the lightsaber battle, probably.
Which one?
I know. I'm trying to think here. There's so many good ones. I would have to say, what is it? Is it The Force Awakens with Kylo and Rey? Probably. I mean, just the whole cinematic view. I mean, maybe it's not so much special effects, though. That's a tough one. That's a tough one for me.
There's a Yoda scene, too. I mean, that's a question. Yoda fighting with Count Dooku, like...
There's a lot. I
got to tell you, when I think special effects, and I'm thinking about how much is going on and how much interaction and battle. I think Clone Wars, specifically, when you've got all the Jedi in the arena, all of the droids are shooting at them. They're deflecting back and forth, and what are they doing? Hack and slash, running through. You got different alien CGIs coming out. You have everything all at once going on. To me, if I was going to say, is it my favorite scene? No, but visually, that is a stunning scene. All of a sudden, what happens? In comes a spaceship, drops in. Yoda says, make a circle around the remaining Jedi. They jump out. They go to battle. It's just an epic scene for for visual effects. So that would be my choice, just because of how much is going on. Because if not, you could absolutely visually, you could go with the Jar Jar Binks scene when they're underwater, because that's also visually a fantastic scene. But is it Star Wars? No, not really. It's more like Finding Nemo. But, it's Jar Jar Binks. I mean, it means that thing that we're going underwater. So not a huge thing, but it's great visually. So great question from the chat. If you guys have questions, definitely drop those in. Try and stump the chat a little bit, or stump the panel a little bit. That's the goal, is to ask them, a little bit of the harder questions. That's what we're looking for. So let's see. Do we have anything else that's coming out of the chat at the moment? The Solo movie keeps coming up in chat, so let's kind of go through it. Obviously, I am not a fan. I'm not a fan because I made it 8 minutes in and I turned the movie off just because I just didn't like it. To me, Harrison Ford he's on Solo. To go back to Larry's point about The Empire Strikes Back, bought him hook, line, and sinker. Did not buy the new Nerf herder. He just is not the guy for me. I just can't do it. Maybe you guys could convince me otherwise. Crew, you keep trying. I'll give you another shot.
Yeah, so I think the Solo story was kind of a set placer for Disney, if you will. Just a little history on it is they came out with The Force Awakens and everyone loved it, but I don't think Disney had a plan for basically the second installment of that film. So they put in Rogue One, and then they put in Solo Story. Solo Story was trying to be a filler for how Han Solo met Chewie, how they got the Millennium Falcon, where they met Lando. Basically, what's that? Jill said,
I like the last part of her sentence, though. It was not terrible.
Yeah.
No, it is. So you got to understand, you probably, if you're a Star Wars fan and you watch that movie once, you're going to go, I didn't like it. Watch it 3 or 4 more times, because there's other things in there that you will find where it's Crimson Dawn with Darth Maul, like we kind of just talked about.
Right.
It's Han and his life on how he became Han Solo, because we see that actually in The Force Awakens, where they find Han Solo with the ship, and he's smuggling. What are those things called, Larry? The nasty things he's smuggling on that big old freighter.
Oh,
a horrible movie.
Whatever.
I can't remember.
But anyways, he's still
that's because it was
smuggling things, and I think that whole Solo story is basically start from finish on how he met Chewie, how he got involved in the Syndicate, and how Crimson Dawn came about.
Yeah,
and it's a weird story, but it was a filler. And
look, if I want to see an origin story, I'll go watch X-Men and go watch Wolverine. This one just didn't get it done for me. Like, I get what you guys are talking about, but at the end of the day, I'm going to double down and really, really just go at this, because I personally think there's 6 movies. You could argue Rogue One is a 7th. I'm okay with Rogue One. I don't love it, but I don't hate it. I get the point where it needs to be. But in my opinion, the last 3 movies never happened. And I have a feeling you're going to wind up seeing a reset at some point, which, by the way, we're going to be talking about next week right here on the Galactic Council. So before we kind of go into some other things, what I want to do is I want to take a quick movie. What's that?
Did I get my second movie?
No, we're going to come back and do it in just a second.
Oh.
We're going to take a quick commercial break. Come on back. We got to pay bills, brother.
I know.
That's how it works.
I know.
We are the Florida Park Explorers.
We explore the parks 5 to 6 days a week with great live streams and vlogs. We cover everything from rides and food to magic and fun and fireworks. So come join us on our adventures as we take you through
the Disney parks and more.
And we're back, everybody. We just had to do a quick commercial break so that we could sit through Crew's second movie.
Oh yeah.
All right, Crew, take us away with your second movie choice. What is your second?
So I'm gonna go with The Rise of Skywalker.
Okay.
Oh,
Why? I know you're sighing. That's fine. I'm gonna give my points. You know, it's all an opinion, right? Everyone's got opinions these days. So I think finding out actually who Rey is and where she's come from.
Can I ask one question before you go into it? Who's Rey? Who cares?
She's a Palpatine.
Who
And
cares?
that's kind of what we find out, right? Like, why do they have this triad with Ben Solo and like the Emperor who's still alive, right? I think that's fine. I think it's a great movie because literally at the end, that's why I held that lightsaber up. At the end, she has that staff, and that's where her staff's built from. She builds her own lightsaber and gets her own kyber crystal at some point. Obviously, we don't see in the movie, but it's a big point to Jedi is when they have their kyber crystal, they put in their lightsaber, they build it, and it's theirs, and until they lose it, like Obi-Wan did.
Hey, Crew.
What?
Larry's getting mauled by a cat. I think it might be Darth Maul because it's eating his chin.
Yeah. He's out.
So your point is there's kyber crystals. We learn who Rey is.
My point. You guys are just gonna dump on my idea.
Oh, totally.
But I think
You actually use the right word, dump, because it gets flushed afterwards.
Yeah.
So then I'm going to go back then because I think the other installments of Disney Plus, the new generation, is a generation for the younger kids that didn't get to see like the 1977 version of The New Hope that like goes, oh, what kind of cinematics is that? Like, you know what I mean? And I think The Rise of Skywalker is really good. We find out who she is. And when I watched all three of those movies, I was like, who is she?
Larry, do you want to jump on this one?
I
We've
do.
got a question for the panel. I did not watch any of the animated series like Clone Wars. Do you recommend them, and do they provoke missing information to really enjoy the theater?
They definitely do. And I do admit that I have not watched all of the Clone Wars and was very probably late in even starting to watch them, really. For me, it was hard to get over the animation. I think that it was the style of animation that was kind of a hard sell for me at the beginning. It just I don't know what it was, but it was something about it. I did watch a few of them. I haven't watched it all. I've actually probably watched more of Star Wars Rebels and The Bad Batch than I have of the Clone Wars. But yeah, I would definitely say there's a lot of information, a lot of stuff in there that would help tie in kind of everything that's going on.
So it's not pick on Crew Day. He picked a horrible movie. I mean, let's just go there. Tomorrow is pick on Crew Day.
No, it's not.
Gosh.
Crew,
Please.
what do you think? What Jill just said?
So you got to be careful with the Clone Wars. If you're an adult, the Clone Wars is 7 seasons, almost 18 to 20 episodes each season, and it's driven more towards like the preteen teenager type of like cartoon, if you will. If you're a Star Wars fan, you'll pick a lot of things out of it. I watched it twice through and through, and it sometimes it gets boring to watch. She's like, I feel like I'm eating cereal at the table, getting ready to go to school, but it's got good information. Just be aware that it can be boring if you're not into cartoons.
Original Clone Wars animation. I've updated.
The updated.
Yeah.
There you go. So back to Pick on Crew Day. No, it's look,
too, by the way.
No, look, everybody who knows me knows I'm not a fan of the last 3 movies. They lost me at the first movie, and I had a hard time recovering from it because they didn't get the memo when they wrote the movie. All they had to do, if they wanted to pass the torch, good. I'm okay with passing the torch. It's been done in countless other movie series and things like that. I don't have a problem with it. As a matter of fact, the prequel for the Harry Potter movies, which is Fantastic Beasts, they're excellent. I don't have a problem with them. The biggest thing is you took all of the iconic characters, they're a joke, and then what did you do? You took the guy who, as Larry put it, we grew up with them. We had a visceral response to these people. We were waiting for what came next because they gave us the 3 prequel. Now they're giving us sequels. And what did they do? They banish him to an island. He has nothing to do with the movie. He walks in, he walks out. Done. I hate the movies. I absolutely can't stand them. You just happen to pick a movie I despise. In all fairness, I've also only seen The Rise of Skywalker once.
You got to watch it again.
I don't want to. I would rather have the 2.5 hours of my life back that I watched the first time. That's so it might be unfair, but how does the movie end?
I just showed you. She goes, "Who are you?" She goes, "I'm Rey Skywalker." And she holds up her lightsaber. And she has a yellow blade. You know who has yellow blades? Not many Jedi. They're the Jedi Temple Knights.
Yeah, the Guardians.
And the most powerful Jedi. What? That's why I did it. It's yellow. She's got.
You know what else is yellow?
Win.
You know what else is yellow? The snow when you've walked after 6 hours, you gotta go.
That's when you're like skiing or whatever, and you just can't make the bathroom down.
How do they kill Luke? I mean, come on. Like,
they didn't kill Luke. No, he finished his Jedi Master training, and okay, fine.
I absolutely despise the movie. I just can't get there with it. What they did with all of our characters. I mean, look at how they knock off Han. Look at how they knock off Luke. Look at how
that was in The Force Awakens. That wasn't in.
I'm just saying, with all three of the Disney Star Wars movies, they all take the iconic characters that we made the argument for, made the best Star Wars movie of all time, and over 3 movies, they humiliate them and they turn them into non-entities to a point where they're thrown away. And we don't get a chance because Carrie Fisher's no longer with us. So we don't get to remake these movies and do it the right way. Luke, if you've ever seen a picture of him, when he's going to these events, he's like, I don't care anymore. And then you have Harrison Ford, who I think he fractured his foot getting out of bed. So, we're not at a place where we can redo these movies. They had a shot. They took our iconic characters, and I think they didn't do it a good service. They could have easily passed the torch. And let me tell you something. All fairness, I would have bought the movies had they have given me a reason to. They didn't give me a reason to.
Well, I mean, I agree. I'm not a big fan of the later movies, but give me Star Wars, good Star Wars, bad Star Wars, and I will watch it.
I agree with that too.
I will watch it. I mean, I feel like, Kylo Ren is one of those characters where you first get introduced to Kylo Ren. He looks cool. He has a cool voice. He got a cool lightsaber. You get you buy into that a little bit. And then again, he's kind of whiny. He's got all this emotion, and it's just kind of weird for me. And I think I enjoyed that character the most after he gets turned back to the good side, the light side, and he's Ben Solo for that last, 10, 15 minutes of, right, where he's at the Force Awakens, or the Rise of Skywalker, I mean, at the end, where Rey turns him back to the good side. right? I think I enjoy that character probably the most, that last little part of it before he gets killed, than Kylo Ren. Even though I do like Kylo Ren, but I was like, oh, Ben Solo. Okay. This is kind of
So
cool.
basically,
I could watch this
Kylo
guy.
Ren became the whinier version of the dark side of Luke from New Hope.
Oh, he's got attitude problems.
He's a gigantic baby.
Yeah.
They handed him a lightsaber. It was a pacifier lightsaber. He grew up and just took the pacifier off. But Jill actually brings up a good point. You know, did the writers and producers and everybody who was involved in this sit there and go, you know what? We did epically screw up with this. And the way that we can kind of bring these series back together is by bringing, I mean, think about it. Luke's in both series. She's not wrong. This is an absolutely epic point. They brought him in the end of Mando in season 2. They bring him into Boba Fett. I was happy about it. As a matter of fact, what did we all say during this very council during Boba Fett when we saw him? We all freaked out. Okay,
Yeah.
wow, there's Luke on screen again. We were happy to see him. So for them to do what they did in those last 3 movies, this almost kind of says what I was trying to say. I think Jill was probably a little bit more cordial about it, if you will. So welcome in, Bloom, and she's a hello. But to your point, Larry, yes, I'll take good Star Wars and bad Star Wars. Doesn't mean I'm going to watch them a lot because they're kind of hard to watch.
Mm-hmm.
I think that, I've seen a lot of the same thing you guys have, where it's, are we going to get a reboot? I hope we do. We did it with Star Trek, where, they go through a portal, and now Chris Pine is now William Shatner. So, I mean, there is the definite possibility that we have some kind of reset. I've seen something about, I don't know if they're describing a holocron or if they're describing some kind of time portal key or something that's supposed to be in the fallen Death Star. When Rey goes into it. Quite frankly, I didn't watch the movie close enough to even know. But if they were to reset it and they were to give us a little bit of a better handoff, if you will, I'd be okay with it. I really would be. I just don't like what they did to, and I'm going to use the word, beloved characters. Just an opinion.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's one of those. I don't know if I ever see like an actual reboot coming. That'd be a tough one to like reboot all the, some of the bad stuff. At least at this point.
So
I don't know.
Here's what you do. You ready? We're gonna armchair Imagineer to steal from like theme parks. If that's the case, what happens is you have a Jedi moment. In other words, Luke wakes up. All right, the movie opens. He's in a Jedi, we'll call it meditation state. He opens his eyes. He's seen this in his head. This is the way it could go. It's a warning from the Force. And now you have the beloved characters. Now he goes and he seeks out Rey. That I buy. Now he's sitting here going, I need to do this in order to prevent that. I don't want Ben to kill younglings. I don't want these events to happen. I don't want this. This is how we can change it. And in theory, it could be done because, well, movie magic. So, I mean, it could be done, especially if you bring in the right writers and you keep the people who are doing the last 3 episodes of Boba Fett and Mandalorian series. You could theoretically have it. So,
yeah.
Look
at that. I think a lot of those movies too. It was the direction. It was the direction and the writing.
My third movie. That's all. I'm gonna blow the chat's mind. That's fine.
With your third movie,
through his third movie, because then we're gonna do a quick run through and then
this will be really quick too because I don't have much on it because probably no one's ever seen it. But my third movie choice is gonna be The Caravan of Courage and The Battle for Endor, an Ewok story. Go watch it. It's on. You're
talking the TV special, right? The TV special movie.
I don't like the TV special. It's the actual movie.
Oh, okay.
1984, 1985, they did an Ewok with Wicket on both movies with Sindel, this character. They crashed their spaceship in Endor, and they have to work with the Ewoks who are flying around they're like crashing on their like hang gliders and stuff. It's a phenomenal movie to watch. It's fun. Afternoon movie, basically on a Saturday. Have a beverage, get some popcorn,
maybe a few,
and just enjoy the 1980s style Ewoks running around. I'm telling you, it's funny. Third favorite. I always watch it. I love it. And it's free on Disney Plus. I mean, if anyone has it, the subscription service, it's all on there. You know?
Yeah.
All right, Larry.
I think I know what you're talking about. I do.
You haven't even seen it. I'm just telling you.
No, I think I've seen it.
Warwick Davis is Wicket after all the Star Wars, and he's still even as Willow. He was Willow too, but
yeah. No, I'm pretty sure I know what movie you're talking about. I remember watching it.
Caravan of Courage and The Battle for Endor, an Ewok story. 2 movies.
Okay.
So Larry, what's your third movie?
My third movie, I got to go original trilogy again. I got to go Jedi, Return of the Jedi. My third.
Boo.
I mean, again, yeah, there you go. You kind of see the evolution of Luke a little bit, where he kind of understands the Force, becomes more of a Force user. You know, he goes against, is Darth Vader in the end. You know, he turns his father, back to the good side. And you just see, like, I guess I'm just tired of the whiny Luke Skywalker. It's you get to see him mature just enough where it's tolerable in this movie, to make it okay. It's okay. What I really would like to see for Luke, like maybe in his own series, what we might see is when in the finale of the Mandalorian, when Luke shows up to pick up Grogu, okay, you see him come in, all business, takes down the Dark Troopers, like the powerful Force user, master Jedi we want to see. I think everybody wants to see. And you see him just march down, mow down these Dark Troopers, and that's the Luke I want to see. Yes. I don't want to see this whiny, emotional, guy that's like, oh, I don't know. No.
Well, how would you feel if your father chopped your hand off the lightsaber?
Well,
he was whiny before that.
No, but I mean, yeah, it's bad. It's bad. But again, it's his character. It's he does a good job of it, but it's annoying after a certain amount of time. But Jedi, I feel, is a good progression from A New Hope to where he's at in that movie, and it makes it enjoyable, and I like it. You get to see a new lightsaber. He goes in, rescues Han, shows he's a force to be reckoned with. He has the Force at his side, and it's an enjoyable movie. I like that one. Definitely. It's definitely a 3.
So to wrap it up, I think everybody agrees. Look, the Star Wars movies, and we're going to get into next week, the good, the bad, the ugly. There are 3 sets of trilogies. There's a trilogy of trilogies. We're going to break them down next week. Obviously, look, let's be honest. Right off the bat, I don't even have to get to next week. The original trilogy wins. But we'll go from there. We're going to look at Cruz.
I just want one point of order.
Crew Skywalker.
I just want one point of order for whiny Luke. So let me ask. The chat can answer too, but whiny Luke has to do chores all day in the middle of the desert on Tatooine where there's sandstorms. He wants to go fight in a spaceship. Then his father chops his hand off, and Yoda makes him do all these, like other chores with him on his back.
I understand it now.
I'd be a little whiny too.
Hold on a second. I understand it. You identify with Luke. You live in the desert.
Fine.
You want to fly.
I'm going to go fly my spaceship probably.
You go fly every day, and Heather bosses you around. I got it. You totally identify with Luke.
I don't want to pull the weeds.
See, now we know exactly why New Hope is your movie.
Oh, whatever.
Because you are Crew Skywalker.
Crew Skywalker.
You just lost. You have lost Lord Sith. You are Crew Skywalker now. So,
whatever.
The council.
Oh my gosh.
This is the way I have spoken. I'll tell you what.
That's a good one. I like it. Crew Skywalker.
Crew Skywalker, baby. Look at this. And it's stuck.
Oh, come on, Chad. Really?
Oh my gosh.
I'll tell you what.
Whatever.
So before we wrap up tonight, we're just going to go through a couple of quick things. We have a new sponsor that's coming on board. It is for 747 Vacation Homes. Mods, that is a new link if we could drop in. If you guys would do us a favor, anytime we bring in new folks, do us a favor, go over, check them out, go over to their YouTube. They have 7 subscribers. You heard me correct, 7. Please go over, subscribe to their channel, show them some love, tell them FPE sent you. They're coming over to us. They're going to be vacation homes here in Orlando so that when you guys do come down, if you don't want to stay on property, it'll give you a great opportunity to stay in a house, 6, 7 bedrooms. They've got pools, hot tubs, everything else. Make sure you go check out 747 Vacation Homes. Check them out on IG. They've only got 500 people over there too. So if you go, give them a follow. Check out some of these houses. They're pretty cool. But again, make sure you tell them FPE sent you. That would be fantastic. I would really, really appreciate it. Before we get out, the other thing is Over the Edge happened today with Marc Daniel. We're going to have footage of that on IG and on this channel. We shot 4K. We also did live streams. Go check that out. That is for Give Kids the World. If you don't know about Give Kids the World, get out from under the rock that you are under. Go check out Give Kids the World. It is an amazing organization. FPE is heavily involved with Give Kids the World. Omar from Give Kids the World said he'd come back on the show, share the totals with us. He's probably going to come on for a few-minute segment, so we're going to make that happen as fast as possible. We really appreciate it. Coming up next on the FPE Network, the Disney Underground with Dad Builds. He was in the chat earlier today. He'll be joining the Beard and Magical Matty B. If you don't know who the Beard is, go check him out. He is a Muppet and a madman. So make sure that you are checking that out for that as well. Tomorrow, up in the box up there to the to my, well, I guess that's my left. With the glowing orb that he doesn't know what direction he is. He's also now Crew Skywalker. Check him out tomorrow night over on Clash of the Magic as he takes an absolute throttling. No, he did. He actually did really well last week. He got picked on a lot, but you know what? He brought it. So tomorrow I expect nothing but the best from him. I know that he'll do absolutely excellent tomorrow night. Also, make sure that you're checking out the Pete McDivitt Show. He is our partner channel. Great Disney content creator, great sports broadcaster as well. He will be on tonight at 11 o'clock calling the Olympics. Make sure you get over there and check it out. His Olympic coverage has been unbelievable. So make sure you're checking out all these people. They are fantastic people. We are proud to be with them. And then other than that, next week, guys, we're gonna do some more battles. We're gonna do a lot of these. This was fun to do. I enjoyed watching you guys battle in the beginning. It got a little spirited, which is great. We want to get the chat more involved. I want to see you guys really start getting into this with everything. Dad Builds is actually in the chat right now, everybody. There he is.
Dad Builds, hey, Chris.
What's that?
Hey, Chris.
Oh, I just said, hey, Dad Builds to Chris.
Yeah. So, and for everybody who's in the chat right now, like I'm seeing your comments from Jill, best charity ever. Absolutely. Is this where I asked Crew about, is this Star Trek?
I saw it. I ignored it.
Star Trek may be coming soon as well to the extra because I happen to like Star Trek. And, well.
I never said it was bad. We're talking about Star Wars right now.
I didn't say you did. I'm just saying a lot of times when you have Star Trek and Star Wars, what happens? You get people that are like, this one's better, that one's better. I happen to like them both. I think they bring two different sides of sci-fi, and I enjoyed both. Now, what's funny is we can get into that next week. But next week, we're going to really get into some of the movies. We did the best one because I wanted to start off with that. I do want to get into best trilogies. We're going to kind of break down some of the movies and any Star Wars news that comes out. One of the things that we're also going to be talking about, because the Galactic Star Cruiser is opening very, very soon, we may, pay attention, folks, we may have a special guest show up, even if it's for a few minutes. We may just get breaking news. So make sure you're here next week because we have an insider. So make sure that you're here for that event. We may wind up getting it next Thursday. So we'll see how it goes. Next Thursday, I think we're going to be without we're without you, aren't we?
Yeah, I'll be traveling that day.
He's going to be in an intergalactic stellar port going to Batu.
Right. I'm going to Disney World.
So we're going to be seeing Larry next week. We can't wait to see you guys. We're excited to see it. Crew you'll be here with us next week. So we're going to have some fun. We're going to bring some stuff in. We're going to have an epic time with it, and we're going to have some fun. So if you're not checking out our Castle Life on YouTube. Make sure that you get over there. Get over there and subscribe. If I don't put this up, my wife will kill me. Next Thursday is Jen's birthday.
Yes.
So we're going to be having some fun with that as well.
Mine's the 22nd.
22nd of what?
February, Tuesday. Mine's on Tuesday.
No, it's not.
Yes,
Whatever.
it is.
It's in November.
No, it's not. It's February 22nd.
Well, you're going to have an
That's
online
crazy.
birthday party too.
No.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, next week's going to be a little bit of a different episode. So make sure that you guys are tuning in. Make sure that you're seeing what's going on, because we're going to have a lot of fun in the up and coming episodes. Things are going to be a little bit different, but make sure you pay attention to and subscribe to Our Castle Life. They're going to be putting out a ton of content because they are coming to Disney World. So they're going to get some content put together. So if you're not subscribed, you're going to miss out on that. Crew is also going to be in Disney a lot more starting in a couple of months. So we're going to be getting some epic content from them. They are great content creators as well. Crew will never admit to it, but he's becoming an IG person and a collector. Look at that collection behind him.
Collector, yes, but we'll see about the IG.
You're going to start taking a ton of pictures. You know you're going to spend half your life in Batu. So we know where you're going to be. They're going to have to pull you down off the Millennium Falcon at least twice. And then the scariest cat in the world,
Valak.
Darth Valak. It goes with Darth Larry everywhere. So you guys, absolutely, I appreciate everything that you guys did this week. Thanks for really bringing it. It was a lot of fun. It was epic to do it with you guys. Any final words from Larry?
It was a great episode, really fun. Anything I talk about Star Wars is a good day. So
Amen to
it was
that.
fun. Definitely. Empire's the best, though. I was going to say it again.
There we go. Crew Skywalker, what you got?
You're a new hope, Larry, so it's fine. I love you, dude. Dude, I had a great time tonight. It was fun. I loved our first movie battle. That was good.
Yeah, that was good.
For sure.
Movie battle's coming
Yeah.
from the Galactic Council, but session is now closed. And with that, I say to everybody, may the Force be with you.
All right.
See you guys
See you,
next
everybody.
week.
See you guys.
He could go all the way!